The trade deadline is almost here, and it looks like the Cavaliers are the front runner to get DeAndre Hunter from the Hawks. Fans are very, very excited for that possibility. Hey everybody, Billy BB back with you on Cavs Digest, getting you set for the NBA trade deadline. So much has already happened, and I think that feeds into the excitement, feeds into the energy of Cavs fans, which we will jump into more in this video. We talked DeAndre Hunter yesterday. You might have watched that video as Chris Fedor reported the Cavaliers are interested, maybe a swap with Caris LeVert. We're not quite sure yet. But of course, things like this are the reason you want to subscribe, the reason you want to get plugged in to the channel when the Cavs make a trade. Even if they don't make a trade, we're going to discuss it, we're going to talk about it, and we're going to want to get feedback from you. So when you subscribe and when you drop down into the comments, that's key. I saw so many notes yesterday about what I was saying, what people in the comments were saying, what the Cavs were up to, and really got some good feedback from people on what they're thinking right now with this trade deadline. I wanted Jonas Valanciunas. That was the big name for me. I wanted the big man. I guess the Kings are all of a sudden buyers. I don't know what happened there, but they get Zach LaVine and they think they're somebody. So they traded for Jonas Valanciunas. Broke my heart a little bit there. As we jump back into things, and we're going to talk a ton of DeAndre Hunter today with the Cavaliers, I do think it's important to note, right? If I can get my correct picture, we'll roll it down. The Cavaliers have talked many times. We've heard from Brian Windhurst. We've talked about it on this channel. I've seen a couple of people mention it in The Athletic. Jason Lloyd of The Athletic mentioned it. People in the comments have mentioned it. The Cavs, they're interested in getting under the luxury tax. Now, if you think this is no big deal, this is not something we're talking about, this is not something teams really are looking at, well, the Raptors, they traded Kelly Olynyk instead of Chris Boucher to get out from under the salary cap yesterday, and they love Kelly Olynyk. So you can go follow Raptors Digest for more on that. But for the Cavaliers, I get asked, what do you think the Cavs will do at the deadline? What do you think will happen with the Cavaliers at the deadline? Sorry, I'm leaning towards, at this point, I think they're just going to go with a get under the luxury tax move. And after last night, which was an awesome game, by the way, Darius Garland, another moment for him, another big game for him. I think they're just going to move Tristan Thompson, maybe Sam Merrill too, get under that salary cap, maybe get a guy back making less money, but getting under that luxury tax is big for them. It kind of stinks, but it's something Koby Altman has to think about. It's something he makes the big bucks for. A move like that just kind of goes down that way, Not a ton you can say about it. So the Cavaliers, that's my prediction for what they'll do. However, I know fans are fired up right now with the talk of DeAndre Hunter. After Chris Fedor reported it yesterday as the Cavaliers are both interested, and now I'm seeing today that they're front runners to get the Hawks wing, I have really gotten hyped up too. I know a lot of people are hyped up. I feel you on that. I understand that. I'm with you too on that. I think he would be an absolutely perfect fit for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Again, I like this tweet because I look at the lineup and it's just perfect. It's perfect. I don't double take at it. I don't worry about a matchup. That's your 3-and-D wing who's proven he can play in the playoffs and just has some health issues. I know he's got some nicks over the years that have had some issues for him, but I think he's the perfect fit. Now, we've also talked to Cam Johnson. Brandon Ingram finally moved to the Raptors, so that one's kind of done for us. Larry Nance, a teammate of DeAndre Hunter's. Again, this is a great reason to go back and follow the page because we've talked about all these guys. We've ran through their stats. We've ran through their fit. We've ran through contracts, guys they can trade for, this, that, and the other. So if you're not subscribed, I just gave you another great reason to do so. Looking at Hunter, and they really planned for Hunter to be the 1-2 with Trae Young, and that's changed over the years. They had DeJounte Murray at one point. They've tried different things with that franchise, but Hunter's been pretty stable as a 3-and-D guy outside of the injuries. He enters his prime, I believe the 26, 27, 28, and 29 seasons for NBA players are usually their primes. So being 28 next year, being 27 next year, 28, 29 after, I think he's a perfect fit. And I think just everybody's looking for the wing, right? Everyone wants the wing on their team right now. I think it's a clean swap for Caris LeVert. We've talked about this. If you're just tuning in now around the trade deadline, LeVert's contract's expiring. He's been, spin the wheel, baby. You don't know what player you're getting night in, night out, and that's a good thing. That's a bad thing for the Cavaliers. Definitely not a defender, I can tell you that. And then, just again, for me personally, my mind changed after that Boston game the other night. A lot of guys let me down. A lot of guys didn't show up how we hoped, and I do think it contributed to the loss. Caris LeVert being one of them just really hasn't showed up and showed out. I know everything's recency bias for people, and I respect that. I really do, because I get that way sometimes too. But, think about it. Really think about it. The Knicks series. The Celtics series, the Magic series. How many times do you really feel like Caris LeVert came through, stepped up, played really well? I know the Knicks series, the Cavs were down to 7 guys that were playable. LeVert was one of them, and we were begging him to make a shot. Just couldn't get it. And I know the 38-10 is beautiful, and it says something, and it does something for fans, as it should. It's been a very exciting year. But you can get a guy that you know the answer to, that you know can show up for you in DeAndre Hunter. We've seen that from him on the Hawks, especially during that Eastern Conference Finals year for them. I mean, I look at that lineup over and over again, and I think it's terrific. I think it looks really, really good. Mitchell, Garland, Hunter, Mobley, and Allen. I think Hunter could even play, a 4 at times if they want to go run and gun, try some different things, whatever it is. Drop down in the comments. Let me know what you think about DeAndre Hunter. I saw some injury concerns there, but I feel like the mood has kind of changed a little bit. I feel like fans are excited to have a stable wing option for the Cavaliers. Wouldn't that be nice not to worry anymore? And again, I encourage you to go back and watch some other videos. For me, Dean Wade, Isaac Okoro, Sam Merrill, that experiment's done. It's done for me. I'm not saying give those 4 guys up, give 2 of those guys. I don't even think the money would match on that. But I've seen enough. And whether it be their actual in-game play, like I was talking about with Caris LeVert, or whether it be constantly watching a game, watching the Cavaliers lose at the buzzer or close to the end or late, and then having to mumble to myself, well, if we had Okoro, well, if we had Wade. Well, I've said that a billion times. I'm sick of it. Cavs fans may disagree with me. You may disagree with me on that one. And again, all this said, all the things we've talked about, and there's a good chance Koby Altman has all his things in front of him. He's running out of time, by the way. A lot's happened in the trade deadline. I think that's another reason fans are more excited. That may build them to think something's happening when it's possible it's not, right? It's not, because just because other teams are trading, and we've seen this in the past, just because other teams are trading doesn't mean the Cavaliers are. They usually stand pat or really look at their options. There's a chance Altman looks at everything he has left, by the way. And I do think it's harder to get deals done when other teams have already made their deals, because they did so much math and looked at things they can't really get back involved. He may just look and say the roster's fine, or like I said, I need to make a luxury tax cut. So we will be keeping you updated here on Cavs Digest. Drop down in the comments. Let me know what you want the Cavs to do and what you actually think they'll do. And am I being way too realistic to think they're just going luxury tax, or are the DeAndre Hunter hopefuls the unrealistic ones? Let me know down in the comments, and be sure to subscribe to Cavs Digest.